that mighty old interview. I'm going to give you some tips on how to prepare for the ultimate interview. It is Jess, your life and transition coach through your inner vitality. Let's get ready, shall we? There are 3 things that I'm going to go through with you today about prepping for your interview. But first, all of these 3 things, what I'm going to encourage that you do is actually write them down. Brings it to the forefront of your mind. Also a really easy way for you to kind of go back and remember those when you do go through the interview. So writing these down maybe a little bit before the interview, the day of the interview, will make sure that it stays top of mind no matter how nervous you get. Okay, so the 3 things that you want to write down. Number 1, write down your strengths. I know that could be tricky, but take some time to write down what is it that you're really good at. If you have any problems with this, I recommend that you reach out to your friends and family that you really do trust and you're close with. Maybe they can help you determine what your strengths are. Sometimes we tend to normalize the things that we're really good at, so those individuals around us can really help. The next one, number 2, is to write down your weaknesses. Now, not only write down your weaknesses, but how do you manage those weaknesses? How do you overcome those particular weaknesses? This is a really great way for you to start thinking logically about how you work through those. Because they're weak doesn't mean that there's nothing good about them. You may be able to use some of your strengths to be able to manage those weaknesses. But it's good to know those so that when you do get asked that question, you don't get gummed up of what it is and how you actually manage that, or what you need from the employer to make sure that it goes well. Number 3, I want you to write down some of your key achievements, some of those really big successes that you can example in your career in the past, so that when you do get asked, or when a situational question comes up in an interview, you may be able to example some of these key achievements that are applicable to the role that you're applying for. By taking the time to write this stuff down after or before the interview really does just help you have a couple golden nuggets sitting in your pocket to be able to pull out when the time is right. You may not have to use all of them, but to know that you have them there and they're fresh in your mind, you've written them down, you've logically thought about the sequence of events, the importance of the situation, why a strength is going to be really good for that role. This is going to help you be the best in your interview because you've prepped ahead of time. It's Jess, your life and transition coach through your inner vitality.